these US shootings, terrible. I went to school in the United States. My heart goes out to anyone just trying to live their lives and get confronted this in usually very normalised settings, in schools, in this case Walmarts, in shopping centres, in movie theatres, all designed to cause terror amongst their own citizens. But if they can't pull back their gun laws after Sandy Hook, after toddlers, 5, 6-year-old children were murdered, were slaughtered, 20 of them a number of years ago, if they can't pull their laws back then, I can't see that they're going to do anything now. And so quickly, this has turned into now attacks against the president. Where do they go from here?
Well, I think in some ways the president deserves to cop the criticism because he's saying today it's all about mental illness. It is. It is. But it's about the fact there are 400 million guns in public hands in the United States. Think about that amount of guns, 400 million. On top of that, we've got a society that is so exposed to virtual killing reality. I think these are the three factors. It's not just mental illness, so Trump will cop it for that. But, you know, there was an aspect to this killing, to the one on the weekend, that hit me like Sandy Hook. There was a table, like you'd probably see in Australia at Bunnings, manned by a group of children who were selling bottles of water for charity. They were gunned down in one sweep. It was like something out of Sandy Hook. If America can't burn their guns on the basis of those stories, they will never do it.
Yeah, but I agree with your point. In 400 guns, that's more than one per individual. In 400 million guns, it's more than one per individual in the US. What's happened to their culture? They have had guns in their society way back since the Civil War, right? They have had guns there for ad infinitum. Yes, they've grown in number. But why are they now, with particularly young people, picking up a weapon at 15, 16, 17, going in and killing off their classmates, disgruntled workers, randomised killings? Is it video games? Is it
yes.
Is it a culture of isolation?
Isolation, massive isolation. People, these sorts of people sit at home on their own, troll, play their video games, mow down people virtually, whether it's Fortnite or others, and they do it night after night, day after day.
Most Israelis have got a gun in their house. That's a very
doesn't happen to them.
So why doesn't it happen there?
Yeah, well, who knows? It takes a psychologist to work that out, but I don't think we'll ever pull back the culture and therefore the repetitiveness of these massacres, which is just awfully sad.
All right, back here at home, New South Wales abortion bill, it's in the parliament, it was introduced last week. It will likely go to the vote this week, we're told. I think there's certainly less debate, I think, to be fair, in the community about first trimester terminations. A lot of debate about late-term abortion.
Absolutely.
As there should be.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the government, Gladys Berejiklian, has very much misjudged the mood. I've never seen a piece of legislation, even something that's perfunctory, come into the parliament and be pushed through almost immediately. But that's what they tried to do last week. Why isn't there a proper inquiry? Why aren't there community forums? Why can't people go and have their say on this issue? Because we didn't hear about it in the election.
No, and you wrote about that on the weekend. It was a terrific article. Why wouldn't you, as Julia Gillard didn't do in her election, didn't raise the carbon tax, why did not we raise, or at least have a discussion about moving forward with abortion laws? That's all she needed to do, and she didn't do it. And I think for a lot of people, they feel ripped off, that they've been blindsided by all of this. But why would a woman deserve the right to have a late-term abortion? That's my question. Now, I'm a failed Catholic, and it tells me that I know at 21 weeks, having seen all the wonderful photographs and the little pictures, that there is a baby there at 22 weeks that can be valid, that can live if there was...
It's a viable pregnancy.
Viable pregnancy.
If there was some sort of trauma to the mother and the baby was born, with medical advances it could live at that stage. And we know you advocated one on radio very strongly for Zoe's law. That was a pregnancy at 32 weeks that was lost. Zoe was born stillborn, and her mother wanted her recognised in law that she was killed as well as the mother was injured. You can't have it both ways.
No, you can't have it both ways. Having said that, we are the last state to head in the same direction. The other states...
Doesn't mean it's right.
Doesn't mean it's right, but in practice, in practice, Peter, it's happening hundreds of times a day in New South Wales at clinics everywhere. That's practically what's happening.
Yeah, but I wrote about this on the weekend from the perspective of a woman saying, come on, women of Australia, 80,000 abortions per annum. That's not 80,000 missed pills. That's not 80,000 broken condoms. I know contraception should be a shared thing between the man and the woman, but in the end, ladies, we bear the brunt of this. So take some responsibility. We can't have it. You know, we are educated. We have readily available and well-priced contraception in this country. How can we get to the state we have 80,000?
It's awful.
One in four births, 1 in 4 pregnancies end in abortion.
And we've seen examples of some schools in New South Wales where they have gone overboard in teaching young women who may find themselves single mothers at a very early age. We've seen programs work like at Plumpton, at the Plumpton Public School. But have we seen enough at that level? Like, if you aren't teaching kids in their early teens what the prospects are, what the dangers are,
this is the Tinder generation.
Yeah, yeah. It's like when the sexual revolution hit in the early 60s, mid-60s, and it's almost as if we've hit there again, and it's no holds barred, and that's just a sad reflection of modern society right now.
Yeah, I reckon if we put as much effort in our classrooms into discussing these life issues as we do to climate change, we might be able to bring that over.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more.